I'm Bill Hurt. I'm with Enlight, and I work for CJS Lighting. Okay, what we've got in this building is a Enlight system, and it's called a Eclipse, and it's one of our newest models of the Gateway. And it's in this box right here. It's Wi-Fi, wireless. So all you have to do is get the app, pull up your IP address, and you can get into the system. And we'll go through that in a minute with my computer on the other side of the building. Is anyone familiar with low voltage, wireless, low voltage, anything like that? Cat5 is? Cat5? Okay, this whole system is Cat5 together. It's called a daisy chain. And this pamphlet here shows you exactly how the backbones and all are built. I have plenty of these over here if you need them. It shows you the blink program. If you got a blinking light, say you get a problem with, most of you guys are maintenance guys, right? Okay. If you get a call and you get a blinking light in a room, you're going to ask, what blink is it doing? Because it's going to do a rapid blink, and if it goes 2, it's usually a communication. If it's 4, it's the voltage. So I have that is in this pamphlet. So it's good to keep in the shop or in the trucks so that you know exactly what that blink program means. It shows you how to crimp a Cat5, the wiring diagram and everything. It's good to practice that, get you some Cat5 and some ends, because you're going to have it. Guaranteed you're going to have a crimp. You're going to have to crimp a Cat5. This system is very, very sensitive, but it's a good system. Because all these Cat5s, and I believe they're all blue up here, everything's blue. If they pinch one, and I'll show you over here what a pinch one looks like. If you pinch it and it's white, that means you're losing some communication, and that's when you get the blinking light. So you're going to have...
Clarification, all of our lighting, low voltage cabling is gray.
Oh, okay.
All of our blue cabling is for data and voice.
Good.
So
That's
I have to
perfect.
differentiate between
That's
the two of
perfect.
them.
Okay.
Everything is gray that has to do with this lighting.
That's perfect. We have systems where people go crazy with color coding, and I mean they color code bridges. But gray is perfect because now you know that that's lights. So you'll just look at it, and the same thing with the blue to the gray. If it pinches white, you know it's been pinched. So you might have a Cat5 problem. Okay, what we got is a gateway, and this is called the GFX2. Okay? This ear is going to be all your guys' best friend because everything is troubleshot through here. You can know exactly what fixture, what device is bad through this system. What it is there's a lock right up here in the left-hand corner. You press it, it comes up to a password. It's a real tough one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Okay, it's going to come up devices, profiles, gateway setups, and display setups. I've already set the gateway up, but if you want to just play with it, you can hit gateway setup, and it shows location, city, state, United States, everything. Time, date, everything. You can set up right through there. Is there only one in the building? Yes, there's only one in the building. This will control all the new lights that are being installed.
So when you say the building, you mean the other building across the way also?
Yes. Okay, what you do, you press the lock button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Go to devices. It's going to bring you 4 areas. One of them is going to have a port 1, and at port 3 it has one device. That is this GFX right here. The other one has 2, and what someone's done is plugged a port into that, so there's 2 devices in that port. Port 1 has 349 devices. That's where everything's at. So if you punch on that port, it's going to come up, and it's going to show you every bridge that is in all these buildings. And it's going to have a number right behind it, and it's going to have a device count that's on that bridge. So if you punch the first bridge up, once it's highlighted, it's going to show you what port is occupied. There is 8 ports to a bridge. And I try to tell all my installers, use port 1 as an in and port 8 as an out. So you have 6 ports available to go out into rooms, okay? I think they followed pretty much that. Port 1 has 6 devices, okay? If you pull that up, all 6 of those devices show you that they're green. So that means they're all active. If it turns red on, say, an NPP16D, that's a power pack, if it is red, that power pack is dead, or there's a problem with that power pack. So you know the bridge number, the port number, and now you know the device number. So on my computer, and I'm doing it to where you can see it too, I'm putting room numbers. So you can go onto the device, because it's going to be wireless, just download SensorView, you're going to pull it up, and you're going to be able to pull that number up, find it, pull it up, look at it, and then you can replace it. And then there's a status that shows you what it's doing. So, you know, if you've got a bad communication, it's going to go up, you go to the device, if it's blinking, rapid blink and a 2 blink, then you've got a communication problem. It could be a bad Cat5, could be anything. But that's how you start your troubleshoot. So this whole system will bring you right to the device. And he has all the stickers, and he's made up bridge to port cards. So you know if you see that bridge number, all you got to do is pull that card up. It's going to show you the port and what room it's in. That's another way to do it. So you don't have to go into the system. So then you buy his little cards, shows you exactly what room you're in and where it's at. Okay? If anyone wants to touch it, go ahead and come on up. Anything that has a Cat5, anything that's daisy chained together on that is called a device. A fixture, an occupancy sensor, and a switch. Those are all devices. The bridge is a device, but the bridge is by itself. It's the top number. With the pamphlet, it shows you exactly what a bridge looks like. They're in a box. So, and it's really unique because it's going to cut your guys' troubleshooting down because everything's located, where a lot of guys put bridges down hallways. So you have to kind of search.
So the red X means there's a problem?
If you look at the little bottom corner, it'll say discovering, so you know there's a problem with the system automatically. See how all the question marks are on there instead of devices? That means they've unplugged something. So now it's got to rediscover everything. If you get in here and you start pushing on it and it doesn't react, just recalibrate it. These are your access holes to the screws, okay? There's a little hole right here, and it's a program hole. You take a little piece of wire, and you push it 3 times, and a white screen will come up. It'll say calibrate touch to the left. 3 times. It's going to go to the other left. 3 times. It's going to go in the center. Now it's calibrated to my thumb. So this is the pocket guide, and it gives you the blink codes for troubleshooting. It shows you how to wire a Cat5 and crimp it. It shows you the backbone. It shows you how to make a backbone and what it does. It shows you to look on to add a gateway, a device, a switch, and a power pack. This book here, it's titled 24. It shows you exactly how they daisy chain rooms together. They have simulated rooms, and it shows you exactly how they daisy chained it. You should get an as-built that shows exactly the way they daisy chained it, because Cutie brand sends out a daisy chain chart and shows them how to do it. 99% of the time, they change it because you've got a block wall, something stopping it, so you're going to have to reroute it. Okay, you know what a daisy chain is, right? Daisy chain is not a loop. If you get into a Cat5 and you loop it, what it's going to do is just keep discovering, because that's going to be just running that power all the way around. And it's going to hit device, and keep going. Where on a daisy chain, there's an end, there's a start and an end. It goes through, it recognizes it, it bounces back, it says, all right, I see you all. I can talk to you. If it's a loop, it's going to run around in circles, basically. That's how I've been describing it. Because a lot of times you do get a loop because you get into big rooms, and if you have 2 or 3 people installing Cat 5s, you could plug in one the wrong way. Most of the offices, especially in the occupied area, are all equipped with a photocell, an occupancy sensor, and a plug load, and fixtures and a switch. So a plug load is hooked to your occupancy sensor, so that sensor has a 10-minute time delay. If there's no movement in that room for 10 minutes, that occupancy sensor says lights go out. What that does, it takes the plug out. So that what it's for is like fans, heaters, things like that people leave on that could be a safety issue. I don't recommend plugging any computer into them, clocks or stuff like you have to reset. And they're all labeled, every contractor labels them, you'll know exactly which one it is. And that is done by that. Okay, I had a question about if there's a microphone to them. There's a microphonics. And what it is that sensor is picking up vibration. And see, like this one here, we're going to be moving this one. When that vent comes on, creates a noise. It's going to keep the light on. It has to be 4 feet away. The good thing about an occupancy sensor is it's got a great memory. If, say, that heater keeps going on and off, on and off, on and off, and it's making a good rattle, after about 4 or 5 times, it's going to say, hey, that's recurring. So guess what? We're not going to activate. Okay, all switches have LED lights to them. This one here is overkill. I'm probably going to have them change it because you have an occupancy sensor already in here. This is an occupancy sensor too. Okay, so this is an overkill, but it works. When you hit that button, say on and off, supposed to turn the lights off, turns them on. Okay? If you leave that switch alone and you walk out of this building or this room, 10 minutes down the road, these lights are going to go out. Okay? You can dim them up and down. So if you hit that button and you keep it that low, okay, you turn that switch off, turn it back on. See how it goes back to the dim level? Because it memories. It knows what you want. So it's going to keep it. So if someone has a big problem with having these light fixtures at 100%, they can set them at 50% and never touch it again. They shouldn't be turning these switches on and off. Because once you turn them off, remember, they're a smart switch. They said, all right, you manually turned me off. Guess what? You manually have to turn me back on for me to operate. You can walk in this room all day long, and that sensor will not pick you up. It's overridden. What's the variance in time delay on an occupancy sensor? It's from 15 seconds to 2 hours. When you walk into the room with your handheld device, you can actually program it from 15 seconds to 2 hours. Okay?
Do you also have the flexibility of programming the daylighting control feature of measuring ambient light in an office?
I can set the foot candle, whatever they want. Normally what it does is we do a factory auto set on a photocell, and then the third-party commissioner comes in, and he can adjust it the way he wants. Because he does the percentage, and all I do is set at auto set point. Okay? And 99% of the time, that's what they want. Because the factory's already set it.
Can you override that sensor through the keypad and your handheld device?
Yes, you can. You can disable it. Okay? If you don't want to get into the programming of it, you can just walk over and hit it. Dim it up. Guess what? It's a smart switch. It's going to memorize it. But once that room times out, comes back, the photocell is going to pick it back up. Can you disable the photocell manually? Yes. What we do is we just disable it. There's a button on the computer in the photocell area, and it's disabled. But I don't recommend it because you got Title 24. Once Title 24 is done, do whatever you want. And I know, once you guys get into this system and you guys start looking at it, it's fun to go in there and work with it. And I recommend it. Just don't hit save and apply. Because if you hit save and apply, that means you changed that program. Okay? And you could get in there and you can really mess things up, especially on a time clock or things like that. How many people can be on the system at one time? On the gateway, I believe it's one. On out in the system, they call it an Incom kit, and I have one in my bag, and I'm going to show you, is you can go to a room, you could pull the switch, and you could plug in, and it's going to show you this room and this room only. So you can do programming there. And then, but once you go back to the computer and to the gateway, all you got to do is synchronize it. He asked if there's any restrictions for the user. No, there's no restriction. Once you get CentralView punched up and you're in this system, you can do anything you want.